welcome to this new Minecraft video. Today I'm here for show you my new creation, so let's start. So today new invention that I've made is this piston-bolt network that I'm gonna explain and show you how it works for the version 1.12.2. But I want to say at the start of this video that this piston-bolt that I've made here in 1.12.2 already exists in the new versions, is nothing of new, but in this version I have never seen an example on how to do it, and I have never seen a version of it working. So I only take inspiration from the contraption that there are in the new version, and I take some examples, some ideas, and transport it here in 1.12.2. But before continue with explaining how this works and what I've made, I want to explain you why I made all this big piston bolt that is very tricky. So over a year ago I have made this contraption, and I have also explained and showed in a video where I made a piston bolt hub that it was inspired from another creation in the new versions. But when I made this piston bolt, something it was not good in my mind. So the idea it was simple. You have only one straight piston bolt, and from this straight piston bolt you can have multiple access to other piston bolt nearby. The solution for doing this, it was simple. In fact, we need only to put a system for catch the player in a specific position and transport it in another direction. This is a very simple example, and you can see it works very well. Only problem that I have seen only a year later is that in the version that I published, I put here a repeater, but this is wrong. Here you need to put a comparator. If you are using this contraption in your world and for some reason it doesn't work, works, but the problem is that here if you have 2 on input, here you have 15 on output because you're using a repeater, not a comparator. Very simple. This is why. But I think that if you're using this in your world, you have figured out alone how to fix the problem. So this contraption, yeah, it was very good. I think so. At least I think. It was very clear. It was very compact. I think. Yeah, it's not very big. The only problem was the fact that you can only have 15 destinations for a single piston bolt, and that is terrible. Really, that is terrible, because if you are more than 15, what you can do? Nothing. The idea was simple. If you have more than 15, you need to make the fifth one another piston bolt hub, restart the process, and so I have other 15, and then make another piston bolt hub. And that was so expensive. You need a lot of blocks, a lot of materials, and it was so complicated to do. So no, it was a very bad idea. Another problem that it came out after, it was the thing that these piston bolts, we are gonna call it the classic method for doing a piston bolt. It was very, very expensive for the pistons, because you need every time to put one piston next to the rail, obviously. And pistons in 1.12, but in every version, are expensive for 2 reasons: for iron and redstone. In 1.12.2, yes, you can do an iron farm, you can do a redstone farm, but the iron farm in 1.12.2 is a very hell, and it's very complicated to do. if you don't use the RNG manipulation, obviously. And the same is for the redstone farm that you can farm with witch, but the problem is that they don't produce a lot of items for hour if you don't have quadruple witch hot farm. So, or you gonna use the RNG manipulation also for the witch, or you have some problems and you need to wait a lot for get a lot of pistons. So in 1.12 pistons are very expensive and also I think too complicated to make. So we need to find a method for use less pistons. And with the new style of the piston bolts, this is possible because we only need to put one piston next to a rail every 2 blocks. So we have one piston, nothing, piston, piston, nothing, piston, nothing, piston, etc. So we can remove one piston every single rail, because if you don't know how this new type of piston bolts works, I'm gonna explain you very quickly. So there is the minecart almost inside with the hitbox, almost inside with the hitbox inside the piston. When the piston push the minecart with a decrease, the piston go directly on top the powered rail and then go on the new rail. Then the piston push another time the minecart and do the same things again. So in this way we can push the minecart 2 blocks forward and then we can repeat the process. In this way we have a new piston bolt that is not faster, is the same fast, 20 blocks per second, and nothing changed, but we have reduced the number of pistons. Another thing, if involuntarily you go to break a rail inside the piston bolt, for 1.12.2 this is a very big problem because you need to rebuild the entire rails for all the rails that there are next the broken one. In the new version it's possible to fix it, but for 1.12.2 I've tried so many times, I have never found something that works for me. So I think that in 1.12.2 is not possible to fix the rail if you go to broke one of these rails. But for the new piston bolts are very simple to fix it. Even if you go to break one of those rails, you can simply repair it, and I'll show you later how to do it. So this was my first design, but it was terrible. It works, yeah, but it was not compact and it was very bad. Now let's see if I put one. I think that go on the right. Yeah, I can see it works. And yeah, maybe you can see that here there is the new piston bolt and here the old one, but I want to explain you later in the video why I've done this. It's complicated to explain you now. But you can see is terrible here the system. No, this was a very bad idea. So I took inspiration from some videos on internet and I put the videos in the description if you want to check. They are some piston bolts for the new version, and I went in the new versions for see these contraptions and understand better how they works, and then I've done the same thing here in 1.12.2. So some of the new piston bolts in the new versions are completely made for have other redstone circuit on top the piston bolt, so not underneath but on top, and I think that is one terrible to see, is very ugly, And second, I don't know, I don't like it. Essentially, I don't like it. So I prefer to hide all the redstone under the floor. Yeah, obviously it's very useful to put all the circuit on top of the piston bolt, because if you are on the roof of the nether, you obviously under the piston bolt you have the bedrock. So yeah, I know that you cannot break the bedrock if you don't use some bugs. But if you're gonna build under in the normal nether dimension, you can simply make a big hole with TNT and build all the system. So for explaining you how this piston bolt works, I'll try to go very quick and make a simple explanation, because I think that if I'm gonna to explain everything that I've made, this video is gonna take a while, so I don't want to make a video of 1 hour. So yeah, I try to do my best for explaining you very simply how this works. So first of all, this is the hub. It's very simple, very compact, and for some reason, if you have seen on my Discord server, I've published some days ago a picture of this contraption for a spoiler, essentially. And it was very huge, because I were using a binary decoder for choose which is my destination. But then I found that it was not possible to make more than 15 destinations for network. Yeah, in this video I'm gonna use some words that I simply invented essentially. I don't know if they are really used, but I'm gonna call network an entire system of piston bolts. You try to remember it, because when I say in the video network are all the piston bolts linked together, and we can have more than one network. So essentially one network is made at maximum of 15 different piston bolts. And I want to say that if it's better if you don't use all 15, and you leave every time one empty, simply because if you need in the future to add another piston bolt to the first network, you have already one spot empty and you can use it. This is only a small advice for you. So here we have the panel. The panel is very simple. There are 15 choices that you can do, and so you have 15 destinations possible. Simply you turn on one of the redstone lamp. Here there is a piston that push a redstone block and allows you to take the input from the shulkers. Every shulkers have different items inside, and so every shulker sends an output different. And then the output will go directly under here in the piston bolt. Here there is another redstone lamp, because you need to choose which direction you want to use. If you want to go south, west, north, or east, and you need to choose it. In this case, I will choose S. But if you don't want to use S, you can choose E. And yeah, every time you need to press again for turn off the system. Important, because if I turn on this one and I turn on this one, yeah, I can see all two lamps stay on. So important, choose only one. Here there's a simple system for choose. And under here there are some droppers, but you can also use chest if you want. Some droppers that are important to be exactly how I put right there. So here there are 32 items. Here there are 64 plus 32. Here 64, 64, 64, 32. And right there 64, 64, 64, 64, 32. Very important, because when you have choose your destination, Here you can press the button and send out a minecart. Simply when you go on the minecart, there is a system that auto-detects when the player is on and allows you to be sent on the piston bolt. When the minecart go down right there, you are being pushed here and then right there. From now, the system need to check where you wanna go. If you wanna go south, west, north, or east, and that is in base of what you have selected. Every lamp send the same signal in the same spot, and I don't want to explain you right now how this works, but you need always to do these exact combinations of items inside. I want to show you that if I choose, for example, I turn off this lamp, north, okay, and I go inside the minecart, the piston bolt taking me right there, then again forward, and then left. I can see. And then I have not programmed it for go straight, so it doesn't work. So it's simple. This is the only part of the piston bolt that you can take and copy exactly how I made it right there. Now let's see. Yeah, I will not said one thing. Here you can choose the station. The output go directly right there and go here. So here you have one input from your direction that you have choose, and then the station is being sent by here. So the number of the station that you have choose is sent on input from there. This is only for your knowledge. So how does this works? I try to do my best for explain you because it's difficult. So let's try to think together about this contraption. So the minecart is coming from this direction. Now you are on a four-way intersection and you need to choose the direction. So the minecart come right there and stop here. Now you have to choose if you need to go straight or right. You cannot go left. So here we have the input value of the station. So now we have an input. Let's see, an input of value 1. Let's try to think with an input of 1. So how many destinations we have on the right? We have 1 and 2 destinations. So for go on the right side, we need to have a value of, let's try to think like math, x minus or equal to 2. In this way, the minecart can be taken and go on the right side. In the case that we have 1, the minecart go from there, go on to the right, go straight, and here we have another intersection. The minecart is right there. We can go straight or on the right. So on the right, how many stations we have? Only 1. On input we have 1. So 1 is minus and equal of 1. Right. So we can go on the right. Right, and we are come here on the station. So let's try to think of the same thing but with an input of 2. So we are here with the minecart. Here on the right we have two stations. 2 is minus equal of 2. Yes, this is true. So the minecart go in this direction. Now another intersection. We have 2 minus equal 1, because on the right we have only one station. No, 2 is not minor or equal to 1, so we cannot go on the right. And in this case, we need to subtract 1 from our input value. So the minecart in this case goes straight, right there. And now the input is not 2, but is 1. Now try to think this like a new intersection that we can only go straight. Forward here, there is only one station, so 1 minus or equal to 1. Yes, this is true. So the minecart can go straight. So this was my better idea for explain you how this pistonbolt works. I don't know if this is the best idea, but I think so. I don't know if this is the best way for explain you how this works, but yeah, I think that it was simple to understand. Now I want to show you how you can program the pistonbolt, because obviously you can have more than 2 stations here on the right, for example. So for program our destinations right there on the right, this side, we need to come right there where there is this junction, we can say, and here there is a dropper. Inside the dropper I have put a stack of items, a single one, that send an output of 2, because we have 2 destinations. Let's see here what I put. We have 1 destination, so I put 32, that is equal to 1. Next, for this one, we need to look here. There is 32, sorry, because here there is only a single destination. From there, we can see here on the right how many destinations we have. A lot. Let's see here the value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because 1, 2, 3, 4. What? 5, because I have not built the station. 5. But here I put 9. Why? Yeah, this is a little bit difficult to explain you, and I don't know this time how to explain you why 9 and not 5. So I try my best for explaining you with this example. Let's see, we want to go to the station number 3. Okay, so the station number 3 is this one, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 of redstone input. 5, we are now here. 5 is minus and equal to 9. Yes, it is. So we can go here. Now we are here. 5 is minus and equal to 1? No. So we can go straight. Now here our system go to check how many destinations we have here. Here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Why there are 2 more? Simply because we need to count in this way. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 output. But as you can see, this is also a piston bolt output. And also this one is a piston bolt output. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for that right there, we need to put 6. So we were at 5. Yeah. 5 is minus and equal to 6. Yes. So we can go straight. And now we are here. Let's check right there. 2, because we have only 2 stations. 5 is minus and equal of 2. No. So we can go straight. Here I think that there is 1. Yeah. 5 minus or equal to 1 false. So we can go right there. Yeah, obviously when it falls, you have to subtract the value. So we have come here with 5. 5 less 2 is equal to 3. 3 less 1 is equal to 2. It was 5 less 1 because this is false, so 4. 4 here is true. 4 less 2, 2. Here 2 less 1 is 1. 1, true, and we are at the station. Okay, I think that I explained you everything about the logic of the piston bolt, also with some examples. And yeah, I know maybe it's not very simple to understand, but I think that if you try to use it sometimes, you can try to do some tests, you can figure out alone how this works. But it's not over. Before showing you the last thing that I've done with this piston bolt and explain you how to make more network, I want to say 2 small things. The first one is possible to make the diagonal one, and it's very simple. You have an example right there. The second one, I told you before that I showed you before that right there I made the old one. But why I made the old one? I want to say that this kind of piston bolts in 1.12.2 are very, 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 very difficult to build. Simply because I've tried different flying machines from the new version in this version, but no one works. I've found that no one works. The only thing that it works, the only flying machine that works are the machines for south and north direction. So if you take a machine for make this kind of piston bolts from the new versions and you build in a direction of north and south, works. But if you need to make this for east and west, how you can do? What you can do? This is a problem. So if you are very patient, you can do manually. But obviously, if you need to do 2000 blocks. If you are very, 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 very patient, you can do. Otherwise, you need to use the old style of piston bolt. Here I made an example on how you can integrate the old design with the new one. The old with the new one. And so you can technically make the system right there. At least you need to use always this kind of piston bolt for the intersection right there to at least here. Simply because you need to take the minecart from this spot and move it. Then you can use the old style of piston bolt, and when you need to make another junction, you need to make another change from the old style to the new one. Exactly like that. You need to make, or you can see, the new style piston bolt and then the old style piston bolt. And when you need to make another intersection, you need to make another new style piston bolt, and then you go. Here you have an example on how you can integrate the old one with the new one, and here there is another one. So you have two examples. For do it manually, I want to say another thing, and I show you very quickly. Let me take this shoe. How you can do simply right there. You need to then remove it. Oh, sorry, it was in the other direction. And you need to do this every time. So you need to be very patient and manually do this thing, and you can have your new style piston bolt like that. This for north and south direction, but for east and ovest, this is another story, because I show you. If I do this, oh yeah, it's changed. So how you can do manually, you need to use the carpet mod with cactus, with the flipping cactus. Is the only thing that I found that it works. If you have other ideas, leave a comment. You can change the direction and then do this simply. Yeah. So this is how you can do manually for east and ovest direction, also for north and south if you want to use the flipped cactus tool of the carpet mod. So from the cinematic at the start of the video, you probably have seen another thing, that it's possible to stack minecart with chest and transport it with you. Yeah, it's possible. So I go to put some minecart with chest right there. Simply how this works. So if you don't want to use, if you don't have minecart with chest and you don't want to transport with you, please turn on this lamp, because if you don't turn on this lamp, you are using for nothing 2 times the pistonbolt. This lamp prevents you from using the contraption with minecart, which is simply I show you. I put a minecart over there on the side. Okay, nothing happened. But if I turn off the system, let's go to station 1. If I turn off the system and then okay, I finish the minecart and then I do this, I can see minecarts with chest follow us to the station that we have chosen. So when the minecarts arrive, they do this tricky, I don't know, they do this tricky turn. Simply is not necessary, because in the 1.12.2 we have not problems with this aligning of the minecart with chest, that in the new versions are a problem, because every time that you leave the chest in a corner, they are being pushed by themselves, and so they are a problem, and we need you every time to stop the minecart for a second and then they can go. And I have done this for prevent any strange situation. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. And here there is a simple system for take one piston at a time, one minecart at a time. Simply, let's see, you from the station 2 you have taken some items, I've put inside the minecart with chest, and then you want to bring them from the station 2 to the station 1. Now all the minecart with chest are came here with you, and now you want to take the item, so you simply click this button. One minecart is being pushed by a piston. You have here your minecart, you can take all the items. When you don't need anymore, you press the button and the minecart go directly here into a cactus and the items go right there. So now we have lost a lot of items because there is a common block that kill every items. But don't worry, the chest and the minecart go directly inside the hopper. And you can do this process for every single minecart with chest that you have. But if you need to take more items from more farms, from more station, what you can do? So we have take some items from the farm that there is at the station 2. We bring them with us and we came here to station 1. We want to take other items because here we have another farm. What you can do? We can turn on this lamp, press the button, all the minecarts are being sent right there in the normal spot. Then you simply turn off this lamp. Then you can simply put other minecart right there without problems. And then you can choose another destination. So now I want to use hub because I want to show you what happens when you have finished your cycle. You have take all the items and you want to bring them back to your hub, your storage. I don't know. But before showing you this, I want only to take a few seconds for show you the contraption for check if a minecart is a player or if is a minecart with chest. Simply the player can trigger this string, and here is a very simple system that change the direction of this rail, this direction. Then the player are be sent out from the minecart, and yeah, I want to say don't stay right there, move a little bit forward, otherwise you gonna collide with the minecart with chest and it's not a very good thing. Very simple. In other direction I need to change something in our stations because the direction change, like here for east the thing change 1.12.2 and you may need to make something like that or even like that. So in some situation the thing change, I don't know why, simply because the rate doesn't change correctly. I don't know if I'm stupid or not. So now we need to go back to our hub, so we can take a minecart, and I wanna do a tick freeze simply for show you here what will happens. So right there is this little intersection. When the player is coming for back to the hub, simply we can do a step like 2. The player trigger this string. Then if this string is being triggered, it sends an output right there, and simply this output go to activate this system for not take the player on the right but for move the player forward. And as you can see, the player is being moved forward, yeah, also on the right, but it doesn't work. for the player, obviously, and then the player go up like that. At the same, a little bit, some seconds later, the minecart with chest they will arrive here, and the player also being pushed here to the destination. The minecart with chest are here. They don't trigger the string, and so they go on the right, as you can see, and they are being pushed here down. The only way for transport or the minecart with chest up is like that. So I can turn back the game speed. And here we have the same system that we have already seen. So this time is a little bit different because when we have finished, we can send another minecart instantly. And the last one directly go on a cactus. The items go right there. Very simple. Okay, so last thing, because this video is gonna take a while. I've explained you at the start of the video that this is a network. I call it network because we can have a maximum of 15 different stations. But if we want to make more than 15, as you can see, this first station that I called first is a little bit different because are 2 stations. So we can make another station attached to one of the 15 that we have chosen, and then make another piston bolt. And simply here we have other 15 possible destinations, and so I call this a new network. But the only problem is that here we can make other 15 destinations, but from one of the new destinations we cannot directly go on the station 2 or the station 3. Let's see, we have here a station number 5. We are at the station number 5 of the network number 2. So we cannot go from the station number 5 of the network 2 to the station number 3 of the network 1 directly. We need to go from the 5 of the network 2 to the 1 of the network 2. From there, we need to go from the network 1, station 1 to the 3. Yes, it's a little bit tricky to explain, but if you have understood, you can have more than 15 stations in every direction. You need only to do this sub-network, essentially. And in this way, you can have more than 15 destination. How I said at the start of the video, I recommend you to leave always one station empty. In this way, you can add more station, another station in the future if you need. But this is only a little tip. And yes, obviously here there is only one destination, so I put one. Yeah, I think that I explain everything that I've made. How I already said at the start of the video, these contraptions are being inspired from some contraption that exist in the new versions, and I leave the link in the description. All the redstone under here is almost made by me, but for some parts, like this small contraption for check if it's correct or not, I take from other contraption new versions, and I think nothing much I take from the new versions. The intersection is always like that. is similar. Obviously in 1.12.2 we have not composters, so we need to use a cauldron, and also we have not lanterns, so we need to use lamps. There is not another way to do it. Yeah, I think that is all. And one thing that I think it now, if you use the old style piston bolt, you can integrate if you want this system, if you want, but it's not necessary. I think that is better this kind of system, new system. Yeah, that's all. Oh yeah, obviously here there is a chest. I recommend you to fill the chest for F15. Nothing. It doesn't change every station F15. Okay. And nothing. This is really all. So for this video is all. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. I don't know when, but I see you in the next video. Bye bye.